To be honest, I'm not sure if your dates with Ellie are really dates or more of just trying different kinds of transportation. But hey, whatever floats your boat. Let's get those cameras rolling. Okay. I found Ellie by the beach, or more accurately, she came running to me. You are not gonna believe this, Kay? What's that? Alright, who took my keys? You have got 10 seconds before I take it out of forced paycheck. Oh, come on. We'll walk and talk, come on. Well, less walk, maybe more like run like hell. 4 is not going to be happy when he finds out that I... whatever. Come on, let's go. She grabbed my hand and pulled me with her into the forest, clearing nearby. What's going on? You're not gonna believe what I just found. Found. What's that? Well, I was wondering how to top the 2 previous dates when I stumbled upon... wait a minute. It's better if I surprise you. I'm gonna have to close my eyes again, right? I love how fast you learn things. Kay. She was singing as she covered my eyes with one hand and pulled me along with the other. She pulled me along step by step. I can't say I wasn't enjoying it. Is this a staircase? It feels like metal beneath me. In the middle of a forest? Just a bit more now, alright? You can open your eyes now. Oh, that's in the middle of the forest? How on earth? We were inside a small plane, the very same one I'd be rudely awakened in my first day here. How did you even... It was just sitting in the forest, so I thought, why not, right? Will we escape with that one? Can somebody fly? I have so many questions. Wait a minute, are you planning on... Can you fly? That would be helpful. Without even bothering to answer me, Ellie rushed to the cockpit. Oh crap. Here's to hoping that this goes better than the rollerblades. I wonder what this big red button does. Don't press the big red button. Oh god. Get me out of here. I ran for the door, but it was already shut tight. And away we go. The engine of the plane roared as we took off. I slammed into the side of the door. Oof. Come on, be honest. You were thinking the same thing. You put a big, juicy red button there, completely unattended, and you expected a good citizen like me to not press it? You are bonkers. You have got a point, but do you have any idea how to fly this thing? Wait a minute, if you are talking to me here, then who's flying the plane? Technically nobody, but... Crash! The right wing of the plane smashed into a tree. We hit it hard enough for it to be slightly deformed. Oof! I slammed into the wall yet again. Shh! Well, we didn't need that wing anyway. We still have the other one. Exactly like kidneys. Sure, it works like kidneys. Forget killer dating death shows, forget Damien and Kat. Ellie was going to be the death of me. I tried to run to the cockpit, but it was all I could do to stay upright as the plane teetered back and forth. I'm just kidding, I have got this. Ellie ran to the cockpit without breaking a sweat. Meanwhile, I did my best impression of a ball in a pinball machine. Alright, I got this. The plane seemed to stabilize in a matter of seconds. Oh, thank God, I really thought we were gonna. crash. Oops! Once again, the right wing of the plane smashed into a tree. Somehow it was bent back into its original shape. Not so bad, if I do say so myself. Alright, that was dumb luck, and you know it. And now for the moment you have all been waiting for. We started gaining altitude, slowly at first, then faster and faster, higher and higher. Before long we were soaring high above the trees. Ellie yelled out in triumph. Woo! I joined it. I joined in and yelled out with glee. It's a pretty great feeling, huh? Not dying in a fiery plane crash? Flying free without it? What's the point of living? Ow. Oh god, irgendwas. You're talking about freedom or flying? Why not both? That said, there's another reason I flew us up here. What's that, Ellie? Is something happening again? This is the only place I could find on the island that wasn't bugged. No one can eavesdrop on us here. And sorry for the turbulence, but without it, they might have heard me disable the bugs in here. Believe me, I looked for a safe place as hard as I could. That's why I got the rollerblades in the boat earlier, to find a safe place to talk as fast as possible. I am guessing you know what the show is really about then. Unfortunately, yeah. What a bummer, am I right? Unfortunately, I don't think you do. And I can't risk telling you everything either. What? Why? Believe me, you are better off not knowing. What? Ellie, what are you hiding? Who are you really? Look, we don't have too much time before we'll have to land. This thing already almost out of fuel. Sure enough, we had already started descending. Please just trust me, I'm on your side, Kay. I know there's so many lies going around here, but I really want to help you get out of here. Though I have to admit, it wasn't on my to-do list at first. It's a good thing you are so cute. I'm kidding, jeez. Do you trust me? She's the only one who apparently knows about something going on, so I would say I trust her. Of course I do, Ellie. You know that. You won't regret it, promise. So what can you tell me? There's no time. Long story short, there's something on this island I need to find that the people I work with need. Oh. It's life or death, not for just you and me, but for countless others. I came here to save you all, and I won't give up until I have. So at this point, I have done all I can. It's in his hand now. His? Whose? No time to talk. We are almost back in range of the island's recording network. No matter what, don't tell anybody what happened here. Not even a little bit. Not even if you think you can trust them. Are we clear? Crystal. The plane flew lower and lower. Alright, we are about to be back in the recording zone. What else? What else? Don't do anything I wouldn't do. What? You would do most of the stuff I wouldn't do. That really doesn't limit it much. I guess not. After we landed, Cat scolded us for taking the plane. Cat and Ellie seemed to exchange more than a few uneasy glances as we got off the plane. But luckily, nothing came of it. Next, the production staff separated Ellie and I. It looked like Cat had arranged something special for the two of us. All I was told was that I wasn't allowed to see Ellie until evening. Apparently that's the nicest time to film. Till then, the production team helped me to look the part of a romantic novel protagonist. I was dressed to the nines. I must have sat through a few hundred photo shoots and interviews before they told me it was time to see her. But it was worth it. She looks the same as before. Wow, even for this island, this place is fancy with a capital F. Tell me about it. I broke one plate here and I will have to pay it for the rest of my life. And I will have to pay it off for the rest of my life. I mean, welcome to the Ocean Palace. Allow me to show you to your seat. Two gestures at me to follow him. We'd only take a few steps when I saw her, and when I did, I couldn't help but crack up. You know, I kind of expected you to be dressed up too, given all the shit the crew put me through. What's the point? I'd just get ruined. How would it get ruined? You will see, come on. She reached for my hand. I put mine in hers with a smile on my face. She pulled me along with her towards the door. Whoa! We stumbled against the table, which knocked her plate onto the floor. It promptly shattered into a million pieces. In case you were watching, Cat, that was 2. I knew I should have just been an accountant. She laughed as she pulled me along with her to the outside. The night's air had never tasted so fresh. Each breath for air as we ran along the road made my worries and fears just disappear. Eventually, we ran all the way to the beach. Come on! She tightened her hand and pulled me along with her to the waters. Wait just a... She laughed like a maniac and she cannonballed us into the ocean. My first instinct was to swim back to the surface, but then Ellie put her hands against my face and looked deep into my eyes. She smiled, then kissed me passionately. It was as if time had stopped. A few moments later, we went back up to the surface. I figured you could use a fun distraction from everything that happened earlier. Was she doing this for me? I never know what to expect with you, you know? And you never will. It was a night to remember. After my date with Ellie, I waited around outside till the time I'd expect to see Kat, but she never showed up. I guess she already has enough footage for today. Might as well try to find her. No one's here. Looks like the snacks from before are gone too. Not here either. Either? Ah! Kat was at a table, writing something down at a frantic pace, with one hand against her head. That one. Hey Kat, what's up? Oh, hey Kay. I didn't see you there. How are you doing? That depends on what you are ominously writing. You look just like someone who just realized I was dead meat. Oh, this? Don't worry about it. Somebody's dead meat, but it's not you. Yay? I'm just kidding. I'm just fixing up some of the balance sheets Stu was working on. Being an accountant was really never in the cards for them, despite what they say. Sit down, I will be stuck here a while anyway. Sure, sounds good. I sat next to Kat at the table. It's so bad. So how'd today's date with Ellie go? Alright? It was alright, not the way I wanted it to go. I'm sorry to hear that. I won't pry. Who knew that 3 dates wasn't enough to see if someone really is your soulmate? Anyway, You have done great till now. I don't know if what you have said to each of the girls really is true, but don't stop now. You just have to get through one more day, and you will be able to finally leave this place. Sure, of course. And you will tell me what my old life was like. Of course. I mean, if I didn't, where would you even go? Fair point. She doesn't seem nice. Happy. You look like you have got something on your mind. I'm just thinking about tomorrow. You have been getting the best ratings I'd ever seen. I just hope it's enough. The ratings requirements for the last date and the last day are the highest. I am sure it's going to be fine, don't worry. I have made it this far, nothing going to stop me from making it to the end. I hope so, for your sake, Kay. So, when I'm out of here, what are you going to do? Are you going to move on to the next killer dating show? I didn't know you were my career coach. You want to know my 5-year plan too? I get the feeling that 5 years from now you would rather not be here. There is no plan. I'm just taking it one day at a time. That's really all everyone can do in that crazy world. Anyway, I gotta get back to work. Good luck, Kay. You will need it. Thanks, Kat. I will see you later. Night. Tomorrow's going to be the last date. I will need all the rest I can get. Guess I will call it a night. The performance is coming to a close. The actors and actresses come out, one by one, ready to take their bows. I would clap, but I'm waiting for you, and only you. Well, this isn't the worst place I thought I could wake up yesterday. I will take that as a compliment. She laughed and pinched my cheek. Well, it's been a blast, Kay. I have some more cruising around to do, and I think you have got another date on your plate today. Yeah, that's just how the show goes. So, she was gone before I even had a chance to finish. That woman is a force of nature. Oh, you are running out of time, Kit Kat. This is going to be fine, just watch. Good morning, Kat. Morning, Kay. How'd you sleep? Pretty well, thanks. You bet you did. That bed is worth more than your life. Ah, that reminds me. Why can't the staff have the same kind of bed that Kay has? Do I look like I'm made of money? You literally own this island. If I gave the staff beds, the next thing they'd ask for is minimum wage. No thanks. He walked away. So how about that 5-year plan, huh? Maybe the brothers were onto something with this whole accounting thing. Anyway, it's time for your last date with your last soulmate candidate, Tara. It's time to make or break. I'm ready as I'll ever be, Kat. Then, without further ado, light camera. Don't get yourself killed. Okay, well, I will try. I found Tara sleeping on the sofa in the games room. She looked so peaceful. Maybe I will come back later. Zombies everywhere! Ah! She bolted up suddenly. Crazy dream? No kidding. I dreamed that we all got turned into zombies. Luckily, there's no way that could ever happen. Did you go to bed late? Hell yeah, I spent all night working on the game. Oh, we forget that one, right? We forget that we turned them into zombies. Weird. And I have finished it too. Care to join me in testing it out? I added some new features I would like you to try. Sure, I would love to. It looked like the same game I had played before. What am I looking for? You will see. I started up the game. Moments later, I saw Terra's avatar run up to me. You have made it just in time. The new event is about to start. What's the new event? As if on cue, giant robot pigeons flew from the sky and started to attack our avatars. Ah! False pigeons. I went towards the pigeons, preparing for the fight of a lifetime. Don't worry, I gotcha. Terra pulled out a giant can of pigeon repellent and started blasting away. Whoa, I think something bugged. It's not working at all. Guess I gotta fix that. While Terra was laughing at her own mistake, I was being lifted into the sky with the pigeon. I think I'm screwed. Where are these pigeons taking me? I tried to move my avatar, but there was no way to resist the death grip of the robo pigeon. Don't worry, they are about to fly into the territory of the maple syrup dragon. The what? The screen lit up with a blast of flying maple syrup. I never thought I would ever say something like that, but here we are. The maple syrup slammed into the pigeons and forcefully the maple syrup slammed into the pigeons and forcefully stuck their wings together. As a consequence, they started to fall to the ground at breakneck speed. Ah! Save me! I hadn't saved yet. I knew I forgot something. I forgot to add the ability to save. I will have to write that down. As Terra took notes, I rapidly fell to my doom. I am happy for you, but if you could just for a minute. My avatar smacked into the ground, pigeon first, and instantly died on impact. Oh man, I had so much stuff. Is there at least a respawn mechanic? I have never died before in this game. Of course. Just hit the retry button. Is there a retry button? Oh. I pressed the button and watched the world around me reset to the village. Sans the giant beasts of death. Except now the village seemed 10 times bigger than before. Wait, when did the village get so big? And then it dawned on me. Wait, it's not the village that got big. I got small. I took a more careful look at my avatar. I was a pigeon again. I sighed deeply. At the same time, Terra was giggling like a child. We spent a few more hours testing out the rest of the game's new features. Thankfully, there were no more pigeon Easter eggs. There's one last thing I want to test out, if that's okay. Will it end up with me getting turned into a pigeon? No. Just come with me. I followed her avatar to the cabin we shared in the woods. When we got there, she turned around, walked up to me and held out an item I had never seen before. A ring. Aww. She walked up to me and gave me an item called Ring of You Are Pretty Cool. Ring of You Are Pretty Cool. What's this? Let me try to explain. I came onto this show with no idea of what I was about. Personally, I thought it was stupid at first, but hanging out with you has been so much fun. I have never really got to work on my hobbies with anybody till I met you. Honestly, I have never had someone to share all my crazy shit with, but you are different. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, You are pretty cool, and I hope we can keep doing this, even after the show is over. Sounds like a plan. Tara, I have got to say, you caught me off guard with this. Why's that? You giving this ring to me, it could be a little misleading. You're not making any sense. We laughed together, then walked back to the mansion with a spring in our step. We played the day away without a care in the world. Well, that's enough gaming for today. You up for a movie date? Sure, what do you want to watch? How about War? Oh no, is it happening again? And then I saw something I'd never seen before, and would never see again. The sky outside rapidly turned from orange to black, as if it were water being drowned in the darkest ink. Oh. So this reality is maybe just a fake reality. They had worked on this helmet, so maybe somebody by accident switched something off, and now instead of the normal timeline, we skipped some hours and the orange sky turned into the night sky? Spooky. Then the brightest sun in the sky went out like a candle in the wind. Whoa, what's going on? She held my hand tight. I could feel that she was scared. Oh no, not again. I didn't have a chance to respond before I had a rush of footsteps coming towards us in the dark. Are these people real? Something isn't right. Oh no, we were surrounded. A familiar voice cut through the short silence of me holding my breath. I am sorry, Kay. You just didn't make the cut. We've got to get out of here. Just make it quick, please. Kay, I'm scared. What's happening? I clasped her hand as tight as I could. We need to get out of here. Come on. I didn't even make 3 steps before I was tackled down and cuffed behind my back. Hey, hold on, I yelled at her to run, but she came back to try to help me. Tara, you have got to get out of here, She screamed. They must have got her. It was no use, even though she was right in front of me. I was powerless to get even an inch closer. They tackled her down in an instant. I heard the click of the cuffs as they dragged her away. I struggled with everything I had to get up, to save her, to run, for what felt like an eternity. Then, nothing. That again. I woke up on an operating table, the kind you will see in a nightmare. My first instinct was to get up and get off it as fast as possible, but my neck, hands and legs were cuffed and pinned down in thick metal braces. I tried to force myself out with all my strength, but the braces didn't so much as budge. Morning, Kay. What's going on, Cat? Get me out of here. I'm afraid I can't do that. And honestly, I'm getting tired of explaining why. Let's just speed this along, shall we? What are you talking about? She placed some kind of helmet on my head. I tried to avoid it, but the brace around my neck made it impossible to maneuver. Please, Cat, don't do this. I could hear the hum of a massive generator turning on behind me. She raised her hand, revealing a trigger switch with a single red button. See you soon, Kay. She pressed it. The curtain closes. You are taking your bow, and when you lift your head, I can see you clearly for the first time. It's you, Cat? Cat? The one I'd be waiting all this time to see. The one who made me dream of a life together, far from this island. You have been right by me all this time. Tomorrow's the day, Kay. You nervous? Who wouldn't be? You have got a point. She reached for my hand and held it tightly. It was Cat. It was Cat all along. But what does it mean for us now? You okay? You're sure we should be doing this? I don't want you to be punished just because I want to get out of here. Hey, Cat. We've always been a team, you and me. No matter what, we are in this together. Thanks, Kay. What does it mean? How did things come to this? The escape failed. I've been surrounded, beaten, shot, betrayed. The love of my life, she shot me. She shot me? Oh. I'm bleeding out rapidly. I try my best to slow the bleeding, but it's no use. What did you do to her? I choke out every last word. I didn't do anything. I didn't have to. You were too busy making hard eyes at Cat, here to see where her true loyalty lies. I'm sorry, Kay, but it's true. I don't understand. Why don't you tell them, dear? Damien is my father. Oh, the same hair color. I knew you were planning something the moment you came to this island. But you didn't trust me enough to tell me what exactly it was. So I became close to you and told you just what you wanted to hear. And then you told me everything I needed to know. As soon as you told me your plan, there was no way you were ever going to escape from this island. Why are you saying this? Now that's my girl. You really are my daughter. Why? I love that look on your face, Kay. You know, you have got an expression that would be perfect for my next show. And it just so happens we've got an opening just for you. It's no use. I have lost too much blood. The world turned dark. This is the end. Keep them alive. Chaos. You might think I'm showing you mercy, but believe me, by the end of this, you are going to wish that I just let Cat kill you. Why? Why, Cat? Why would you? I barely have time to breathe before the waves pull me under once more. Wait. I already had the suspicion that Cat is a girl out of our dreams, but that the girl out of us, that the girl of our dreams betrayed us like that. That's a whole other story. I wouldn't have thought that. That's horrible. But still, there is still the question. Okay, also, why were we there in the first place? Why were we on the island? We know that there was a scientist that was, not Violet, Scarlet. Scarlet was a scientist. The other girls we don't know anything about. We know that the blonde one is there to get something because she is working for another group, apparently, maybe a rival group. That would make sense since these people here are really bad. Then we have Yui we know out of our school time back then, but we don't have, like, how? What are we in this whole story? Like, are we a scientist too? Or are we a production person? Are we 6? No, that wouldn't make sense. Oh, well. they have a machine that can alternate thoughts. So maybe we are 6 or 7 or something. But our brothers cannot remember us. That could be. Oh. That's so interesting. I want to play more, but we already have like 2 hours and 16 minutes. And I believe like 1 in the morning? Yeah, it's 1 in the morning. But I don't want to stop now. I will play. I will play and then I edit it tomorrow and then we... I cannot wait till this is up. Where am I? I'm underwater? It's so dark and cold. I try to move, but I'm so tired. It takes all my strength to reach my hand out forward. Feels like glass. I'm trapped in some kind of tank. I want to sleep for just a... Are we clones? Is someone there? I can feel somebody's presence. I open my eyes and I can see... Hang on just a little longer, Kay. Who are you? The woman in front of me looked at me with pity. She will not understand me, but hitting the glass will not help. I try to speak, but it's no use. My mouth won't speak the words I want them to. You are awake! I'm so glad, but you are gonna wish you were asleep for this next bit. Trust me. And sorry in advance. She moved towards some kind of terminal next to my tank and pressed a button. As if on cue, it was as if every nerve in my body was set on fire. I screamed and thrashed around, but it did nothing to alleviate the pain. Oh, will you look at that? Looks like our little heroes got some life left in them. You know, Kay, you are in luck. Usually, I just kill you for this, but a new opportunity just opened up and I think you would be the perfect fit. I'm sorry, Kay, but it's true. I don't understand. Why don't you tell them, dear? Damien is my father. We know. Always a hero, aren't you, Kay? You should be more worried about yourself. You know the rules. If you try to escape the island, you die. It didn't have to be like this, but you... I'm done talking. Goodbye, Kay. Hold on just a little longer, Kay. She looked away from me as if she had heard something. What? I couldn't tell. Shit, they are almost here. We are running out of time. I'm sorry, Kay. I won't be able to give you back all your memories, but this will have to be enough. She pressed another button on the terminal. I have got to run back to my tank, or they will know something up. Oh, we have all tanks. 5 tanks. Okay. She pressed her hand against the glass. Hold on just a little longer, okay? I will get us out of here. 6 tanks. 6 tanks. It is fitting. The pain. It stopped. The world turned dark. Not again. I have been here before. I am chaos. I am chaos. Well, this whole game is pure chaos. I am on some kind of dating show. Find love or die trying. Ellie, she helped me. I have got to find her. You are up early. Most people around here usually need a little more to wake them up. Cat, I remember now. I tried to escape this island with her. She pretended to be my lover. She betrayed me and shot me too. She is the reason why I am trapped here. Can we kill her right now? Oh no, her father will come in a minute. We shouldn't. It's only fragments I can remember, but I remember enough to know that she's bad news. We have done this song and dance over and over, more times than I can count by now. I have been in love with and chosen Ellie, Scarlet, Terra, Violet, and Yui. Each of them countless times. We slept with them countless times, and they are not pregnant? Well, okay. They got the pill, I guess. Am I a bad person? Come to think of it, I can't remember what happened before this show started either. I need to find Ellie, but first for the problem at hand. If I want to get out of here, I can't let Cat know that I remember what happened before. Where am I? I have got to play dumb. I know this sounds weird, but do you know where we are? Will she buy it? Walk with me, there's a lot to get you up to speed on. The name's Cat. I'm the producer for a new show, Find Love or Die Trying. And what's your name? I don't remember. Looks like it's the same beginning as usual. Learn about the killer dating show rules, meet the girls before the show starts. What does they get out of that? Showing the is it even a show? Or are we just testing? Yui, I don't remember meeting you before this show, but I'm glad I got to meet you again. It's impossible not to feel happier when I see your smile. You would think that the staff would have learned to cook better by now. There's so much more to you than you show the world, Violet. Scarlet, you are still hiding that you are reading that magazine with another book. It brings a smile to my face every time. I think I know what happened to you now. You still have no idea what you got into, Terra, killer dating show or not. I would love to see the way you see the world. And finally, Ellie. You never gave up on getting us out of here, even after all this time. Howdy, Kay. I hear you are the suitor. Care to join me for a jog? There's a place in the forest I love to go for a run around with you. It would be my pleasure. We went for a jog, exchanging banter like we'd always done when we met each other. The second we got to the unrecorded area of the forest, her smile faded. I'm glad you got the hint, Kay. You haven't given yourself away to anyone yet, right? No, I haven't. As far as Cat knows, I don't remember anything as usual. Sweet, I knew I was right to help you first. Really, thank you so much. I can't thank you enough. I've got to ask, how did you escape the tank in the first place? Honestly, I got lucky. Usually the tank knocks me out right away, but that last time, I think something must have bugged out. I saw my chance and took it. Everything's better than being stuck here forever. I'm sorry I couldn't get all your memories back. Don't worry about it, Ellie. All I could ask for is a fighting chance, and you gave that to me. Don't mention it. I mean, duh, I'm hands down the MVP? Anyway, it's about time I tell you the truth, Kay. I'm from the Resistance. You can think of us as a covered group of concerned citizens who have a few bones to pick with the world's current management. And those bones are their necks. Joking aside, we are fighting a war here. That war will be won with information. Information that lives on this island, not only here. There was no way that we could ever find this place, not by conventional means. But then we found out about the show. And so they sent you here. Actually, I volunteered. Believe me, the other didn't want to, but I knew I had to. I was the one with the least to lose. Ellie. It was pretty easy getting in, all things considered. All I went to do was write a report that labels me as suspicious of conspiring against the government, take a few cute selfies, and boom, I was flown here. Didn't go too great since then though. But that was when I was a lone wolf. I've got you now. And we'll get out of here together. Sounds good to you? Sounds like a plan. I haven't even told you the plan yet. But since you're so excited, let's get right to it. There's 2 things we need to do. 1. We need to bring the other girls' memories back. We won't be able to get their trust or work with them till we do. And we'll need their help for part 2. And what's that? 2. We need to get the fuck out of here. Sounds about right. Easier said than done though. It's going to take a hell of a lot to set up and coordinating. Nation. There's a small army of armed and trained staff tasked with keeping us here, not to mention us needing a way off the island. I will figure it out as we go, but for now, how about you go on a date with Scarlet today? I can do that, but how does that relate to us getting out of here? She is a scientist who got our memories gone, who get our memories. I'm sitting for 3 hours like that. It isn't. My legs. Never sit straight on my seat. I would tell you if I thought you could be a better actor. Believe me, you will know why later. Anyways, let's head back to the mansion. We don't want Cat to start looking for us. Sounds good to me. You are really something, you know? That's putting it lightly. Okay, there you are. F you. Sorry, I can't carry it. I got carried away exploring the island. I have got to be careful around Cat and anywhere where a camera is. I know exactly what she's capable of, firsthand. Is that so? Well, it's no harm, but you have a whole week to explore, you know? You will get 1 date with each of the girls for the first 5 days. Oh. A little something special for day 6, and then the final ceremony where you propose to one of the girls. That sounds like the perfect amount of time to figure out if we are meant to be together. You would be surprised. Anyway, let's get the show on the road. Who do you want to spend today's date with? Scarlet. They are just something about her, you know. I found Scarlet inside the library, the place I'd most often meet her for the first time. She always looked so happy when she was reading. It did the heart good to try to make her smile in the same way when I talked with her. We became fast friends again. The similarity of our situations might have played a part in that. Still, I'm not sure why Ellie insisted in me going on a date with Scarlet today. Sure, getting her memories back will be a huge win, but... Oh, that's different. Hey, Scarlet! Hey! I'm glad you are safe. Things are going crazy out there. What's happening? I know it sounds crazy, but there's a horde of zombies outside. I thought Scarlet is the reason why there are zombies. The Brothers 5 and a lot of our behind-the-scene help went crazy and... Scarlet, you did this, didn't you? Wait, what? I have been here the whole time with Kay. I couldn't have. I have never heard of anything like this. Wait, what? It's true. I can vouch for her. We've both been here since our date started. Well, either way, I bet you can create a cure for it, no? I mean, I probably could, but I need my equipment. I'm not sure why, but I can't find it anywhere. Oh. We had to get her distracted so that we can steal her equipment. Okay. Follow me, you can use our lab. Huh? We followed Kat to the games room. Kat put her hand against the wall of the games room, revealing a hidden trapdoor. She walked in and beckoned for us to follow. Do we need something out of the games room, maybe? The lab? We will take everything we can get our hands on. We walked down spiraling stairs for who knew how long. I lost track more than a few times. Oh, we were underneath the games room. I remember this place. You should have everything you need in this room to make a cure. Just don't go snooping around. This lab belongs to R&D, and we could all get in trouble if you do. Actually, this place doesn't have everything I need. What else do you need? To build a cure, I'm going to need a sample of whatever this is. I need a live specimen. I am sure you can help with that, Kay. I have got some editing that needs my attention. You got this. Is editing a synonym for changing our memories? Editing? Oh, that's why we are editing all night and our dreams are like white and flashy? Oh. And just like that, she was gone. If it makes you feel better, I help you catch somebody. You sure? If you're the only one who can make the cure, then it might be better for you to stay back. No thanks. She can be on her own. There's no way I'm letting you out there alone. I don't want you to think I'm weird, but I have just got this feeling that I'd be pretty good at collecting unwilling zombie specimens. That is weird, but in this case she is absolutely correct. Some memories must be intact even if they are kept below the surface. Well, let's get on with this. We went back up to the surface. Everywhere we looked was overrun by zombies. We wouldn't stand a chance against a group, so we spent the day trying to split them up, as well as searching for lone wolves. Brains! Banana! Again. We're in luck. We finally got an isolated sample. How are we supposed to bring him in, though? One bite and we are finished. I have got just the thing. Scarlet pulled out a pair of brass knuckles. Where did he even get that? Is that really important right now? You might be looking the other way for a second. It's embarrassing. Sure, Scarlet. I turned around. Rain! Bananas! I hope your health insurance covers this. Drag. Once more with feeling. Drag. Are we the bad guys? Maybe. redirect him back to the mansion, paying careful attention to not run into any more of the zombies running amok. Scarlet opened the hidden trapdoor in the game room, and I pulled For's unconscious body in. Oh fuck! My hand slipped, causing For's body to tumble down the stairs. Bonk, bonk, bonk. He just kept going and going. Well, not much harm done, I guess. I know. I will get him. Better get him quick, or we are not going to have a live specimen. Oh. Luckily, I managed to catch him pretty quickly. We put him on the operation table for Scarlet to analyze. Interesting. What's up, Scarlet? This virus, it's pretty clear it's man-made. Even more interesting is that it looks like something I would make. Not that I ever made zombie viruses. Hey? Yes, you have. It's kind of cute how you try to hide it. Cat, you there? Weird, I thought Cat was supposed to be able to hear us from anywhere on the island. Maybe there's no microphones all the way down here. I guess so. I was going to tell her we've got the cure now. Sweet, great work, Scarlet. Wait, we are in a laboratory, in the hidden laboratory, without somebody seeing or hearing us. Maybe we should snoop around a little bit. Maybe. You bet I did. We administered the cure to 4, then went back upstairs together. Cat, you there? What's up, Scarlet? I've been waiting hours for you guys. You two done yet? We've got the cure now. We'll need your people's help to help administer that. We'll be right on it. Lay low for now. We are coming to get you. In the meantime, Kay, how about you tell me about yourself? It would be my pleasure. With Cat's help, we managed to quell the zombie plague, with just enough time left in the day for a lovely dinner with Scarlet. After that, I went for a night walk with Ellie, to somewhere safe from prying eyes. You should buy a girl dinner first before you murder her in the woods, you know? I think I found the way to bring the others' memories back. You found the lab, didn't you? Pretty much. Sweet. I wasn't sure how to get back there after they shipped us out of there, so that's a huge win. So, where is it? There's a secret trapdoor in the game room. You just have to press a hidden panel in the wall. That said, how are we supposed to get in without being seen? There are cameras everywhere, and Scarlet and I were only allowed to enter because of the whole pandemic. Don't you worry about that. I've got an inside man. For's gonna be helping us override a few cameras and microphones in the mansion with old recordings. 4? That way we can get in and stay inside long enough to get their memories back without raising any sort of fuss. The brother that we KO'd today down the stairs? What's that look for? I'm surprised he is still standing after today, to be honest. I wouldn't work with people who go down that easy. Was 4 always working with you? Nope, never till now, but we can't afford to refuse his help. I've had him prove he's trustworthy. Don't worry, you can count on him. Alright, if you say so. Anyway, we have everything we need for the first part of the plan. Up for a trip down memory lane together? Sounds like a plan. You guys have to see this, trust me. Oh, Ellie put her hand against the secret panel. A second later, the wall parted to reveal the winding staircase. 4 became intimately and repeatedly familiar with. Did Ellie prove 4's trust before or after his little trip on the stairs? Whoa, you guys found my secret spot already? I'm sorry, what? I found this place this morning. I sat near the top of the stairs and played for a while. It was more fun to play in the dark. Hold me back, Kay. Ellie explained the situation as we walked down the stairs. Sure enough, they were skeptical. Except for Scarlet. Of course. Okay. Okay, your story makes a little more sense when you came down there. We walked towards the machines in a mixture of awe and fear. The markings on this machine. My father's company made these. Why? Oh, Violet's father made them. They didn't. Not my baby. I am sorry, everyone. I wish that... But what are the other ones? I wish what I had to say wasn't true, but it is. I don't know why we are being kept here, why they film the show over and over. But I know that if we don't escape and fast, they are going to kill us, sooner or later, or we will die out of old age. Kay and I are going to do our very best to make sure all of us get out of here alive. But to do that, I need you to trust me. Trust you with what? I need you to trust me enough to step back into the tanks they kept you in. For us to escape, you need all of us to have our memories back. Otherwise, you won't trust us enough. I'd have to be quite foolish to just step into this tank because someone said so. Push her. Violet, you can trust her. Excuse me? I know she's telling the truth about this machine, because I built this. Ellie... Huh? This isn't the first time we've met, is it? No, it isn't. We've gotten to know each other quite a few times by now. It's a strange feeling. On one hand, this is horrible. On the other, I'm glad that the machine works. Maybe one day we'll put it to use the way it should be. Alright, I trust you. You just walk back into the machine? Thank you, Violet. I know it'd be difficult to trust me, so I appreciate it. There's a machine that should have your name on it. Go into it, and then Kay and I will start the reversal process. I do hope this works. It should, but it might hurt a bit. Do spare me from the details, please. Scarlet and Violet walked to their respective machines. I don't really get it, but I trust you, Kay. And besides, I got a thing for big things made out of metal. They are like mecha. Mecha? Still don't get it. I guess. Is this going to hurt? I do not want to lie. It is. I'm sorry, Yui. Don't be, Kay. I'm happy you wouldn't lie to me. It makes me even more sure to trust you. Here we go, Yui. Let's do this. Alright, they are in their tanks. Let's do this, Kay. On it. Even if it was necessary for all of us, their screams from the reversal process were almost more than I could take. Ellie and I covered our ears as Violet, Scarlet, Yui and Terra remembered years of memories in a matter of minutes. After doing all this, we better be getting out of here. Violet, Scarlet, Yui and Terra stepped out of the tanks after what must have felt like hours to them. Guys, you okay? This probably isn't the time to mention it, but I made a bet with 4 about what would happen when they got their memories back. What did you bet? I'm going to watch from a safer distance, if you don't mind. Will they hurt me? Because they remember how much we did together? Yeah, okay. Don't hurt me. If looks could kill, the girls that had just gotten out of the tanks would have killed me several times over. They went to me yelling and screaming. You 5-timing little cheater! Wait, I can explain. Too late. They were on me like hyenas. Ah! I cannot scream. It's like 1:30 in the morning. Ah! Now that we've all calmed down, how about we go over the escape plan? It better be good, Ellie. For your sake, Kay. Out with it then. Alright, listen up. Over the next hour, Ellie explained her plan from start to finish. Trust me, it's the best we got. It's the best we got. If this is our plan, we are doomed. Congrats, Kay! You've made it to day 2. You really gave our audience a run for their money yesterday with Scarlet. And that's before we got the zombie involved, believe it or not. I am glad to hear that. You think you'll choose Scarlet at the end of this? Definitely. I figure it's best to make things seem uncertain as possible and not get too focused on any one girl. Kat said that getting low ratings during the show could end up with them shutting it down early. If that happened this time, then game over. The only reason why we are able to make these moves right now is because Ellie's machine glitched out. Who knows if that would ever happen again. There's no room for error. She's definitely my number 1 right now, but who knows? We'll have to wait and see, but I have got a really good feeling about her. I like the sound of that, but you know what I like even more? Drama! And what better way to start that fire than a full day date with another woman? If it ain't broke, so who's it gonna be? Have you ever noticed that there's only one room in the mansion that's locked? Nope, not even a bit. Really, it's right by the games room, and it's not the hidden one. I'm starting to understand why you have been stuck here all this time. I was snooping around at night looking for snacks when I saw Kat open it, using a black key that she kept on a keyring in her pocket. It's definitely a master key. I have seen her use the same key both in the mansion as well as on other buildings. Sounds like it would be pretty good to get our hands on that. Exactly. If you get me that key for even a minute, I can make a mold of it that we can use as a duplicate key. I'm betting that would be pretty helpful for helping us get out of here, to put it lightly. That's awesome, but wouldn't Kat notice her master key going missing? You are absolutely right, especially if you or I try to take it. I'm feeling a butt coming. Like a bit butt, just coming up. But it won't be you or I taking it. 4? Maybe. Tomorrow ask to take Yui on a date. Let me go get Yui. By the end of tonight, you will both understand why it has to be you two. I'd say it sounds like a plan, but I have no idea what's going on. Okay. Trust me, Kay. When have I ever been wrong? I could list every single date we'd been on as evidence. Those don't count. Yui. There's just something about her, you know. We'll make it happen. It was the first date since getting all of the girls' memories back. We went for a walk out in the woods, the same date we had when we truly had met again for the first time. It was a little awkward at first, figuring out how to not give away what we knew on camera, but we figured it out pretty quickly. It's so nice to see you again, Kay. I feel the same way, Yui. After all this time, it's got to be fate. It's got to be fate, hasn't it? It must be. To be honest, I feel a little like things are going a little over my head. The show, meeting you again, everything. It's just moving so fast. Sometimes I feel like everything's just moving too fast for me to keep up. But with you, everything feels alright, like I know it's going to be okay. Would it be okay if we just spent today this way? She leaned in closer and put her arms around me. I wouldn't have it any other way, Yui. Wait a minute, what about getting the master key? Ah, I can't tell from your face what you are thinking about. Don't worry, I've got that covered. Bun Bun Bun! Bun 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 darted out of a nearby bush and ran to Yui's side. Who's a good boy? You are a good boy. She picked him up and hugged him tight. It was impossible not to smile. Almost forgotten. Bun Bun Bun? Hunt! Oh je, a hunting bunny. Bun 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 leaped out of her arm, then dashed towards the mansion. And with that out of the way, how about we walk for a little longer? What just happened? She reached for my hands and held it tight. I would like that. We walked and talked for hours. When we took break, we laid next to each other on the grass, talking about anything and everything. Yui's a lovely girl. At times I remembered how dire the situation we were in, and I couldn't help but freeze up. But with Yui, I'm never afraid to face those fears. She makes me brave with just a smile. Even when she couldn't ask directly about what was on my mind, she found ways to comfort me despite that. And in turn, to make her smile made me feel lighter than air. A life with her would be wonderful. I've got to make sure to get us all out of here safe. Kay? Yeah? I love you, Kay. I hope we can spend another day together. Just like that. Soon. I would like that. Me too, Yui. We walked back to the mansion together, hand in hand, then went our separate ways. Hey! You would not believe what happened to me today. What happened, Cat? I got attacked by some kind of forest monster. It was at least 10 feet tall, had monstrous teeth, and there was at least 5 of them. It took everything I had to not laugh. Luckily, I managed to fight them off without any permanent injuries. I made sure that 4 deleted the footage. That shit was both embarrassing and traumatic. That's good to know. This is the worst run yet. What do you mean by that? Oh, nothing. I've just had a long day. I will bet. You should get some rest while you have the chance. 5 forest beasts is nothing to sniff at. You are making fun of me, aren't you? Not at all, cat. Forest beasts affect 1 in 10 people. It could happen to you. Right. I will see you later, Kay. Good night, Kay. Good night. Mission success. Mission success. Success? Yeah. I can't believe that worked. How did you train your pet bunny to do all that? It's all thanks to our special training last night. I may have made a few contracts with a few devils from the forest, but... I'm sorry, what? I'm half kidding, don't worry about it. Which half? Are the keys ready to use? Not yet. Not yet, which sucks. It's going to take a little longer for the makeshift plaster to set. Where'd you get the plaster from, by the way? Believe me, knowing more about how we got it will not make you any happier as a person. I'm cool with not knowing. Anyways, the keys will probably be usable by tomorrow morning, but you will have to have your next date by then. We will test them out as soon as it's night tomorrow. Sounds good? Sounds good to me. Awesome! Let's go, team! How about you let the rest of the girls know, Kay? 4 has disabled the audio recording in the house at night, so we should be good to talk back up there. I will let them know. I walked back up the staircase, back to the mansion. Where are they? Ah, I can hear some sounds from the kitchen. I will make my way over. Hey Violet, how are you? Huh? Goodness! Apologies, Kay, I didn't see you there. You seemed pretty deep in thought. What's on your mind? Besides the way hundreds of different versions of memories of the same week? I'm worried for the people back home. Yui has a brother to worry about, though she tries not to burden anyone with that feelings. Everyone has family out there, and who knows what happened to them in the last, well, however long we've been trapped here. I have never gotten along with my parents that well, but even so, they must be worried sick. I'm sure they are doing fine, Violet, and they are going to be so happy to see you again. You are right, Kay. So, there's no way you could know that for sure, could you? I guess so, but we've got to believe, right? I suppose you're right once again, Kay. When we finally escape this dreadful place, I'm going to hold them so tight. It's kind of funny. What is, Violet? I told you I had a twin sister, right? Yeah, you did. Her name was Viola? That would be her. She was always my parents' favorite. You know the type. She came first in just about everything, while I did not. Even so, we got along just fine. I was proud to call her my sister. Then there was the accident. She saw the car before I did. She moved to protect me before I could. And in the end, she was hit before I was. And she died before. And she died for it. I am so sorry, Violet. Before then, I had no problem being second place to her. But for her sake, for just that one time, I wish I had come in first. Aww. That's so sad. I'm oversharing, aren't I? I apologize. It's okay, Violet. Just say what you are feeling. You are kind, Kay. It's something I adore about you. You know? After Viola died, I did my very best to live up to the standards she set for my parents. You can probably guess how well that went. I wasn't as good as running the business or appearing prim and proper, or even things like finding a partner. It's a little embarrassing, really. That's the whole reason why I came here. My parents saw an ad for the show and thought it might help me. Or perhaps they just wanted to kick me out of the house to make more room for my new baby brother. Oh, I couldn't resist the chance for them to support me for once. At times I feel like I can't do anything right. Look at how this show has developed. This is a nightmare in every regard. Violet. Yes? I held her in my arms tightly. You are an incredible woman, and believe me, there's nothing you can't do. I have seen you put the fear of God into the Brothers 5 and make delicious meals that some people would probably kill for. Even if this is a nightmare, it's one we are going to get out of together. And we wouldn't be able to do it without you. You are too kind. Thank you for I appreciate it. But enough about me. Have you remembered anything about why you came here? Unfortunately, I haven't, but I'm hoping that the master key we pilfered will help with that. I hope so, for your sake. In the event where it does not provide any answers. My previous offer about finding you help outside of here to get your memories back stands. Thanks, Violet, I really appreciate that. It is the least I could do. I still fancy you quite a bit, you know. I know it's not the time or place, but maybe when we get out of here. Perhaps you will join me for, say, a lovely cruise around what left of the world? I am looking forward to that day. As am I. We talked for a few moments longer before retiring for the night. For once I lay in bed, not worrying about being killed. For once I was excited for what tomorrow would bring. It's only up from here. Okay. Kay! Ellie? What are you... Never mind that. You have got to come down to the lab. What is it? We found something and I know you will want to see it. She reached for my hand, pulled me as we ran. What could even be that? I mean, we have so many twists and turns already. What could be it now? The other girls were already there, crowded around the table with a pile of rollers on top of it. What's going on? I was just looking around the lab when I stumbled across these. They are our files. I didn't read anyone's but my own, but I have to warn you. Caution was the last thing on all of our minds. Most of us scrambled to find our own file, except for Yui, who was already holding hers, and Ellie. Weird. There's no file for me here. I double-checked, but there was nothing for me. Guess I'm not getting any answers today. Ellie slowly walked to the pile, found her own, then opened it in one fluid motion. Interesting. What is it? Ellie Mayer, sent to the island for being suspected of committing treason against the government. Selected for the experimental show for fitting the sporty girl archetype. We need one of those. Ha! It's good to know this whole getup was a good idea. Did you know I actually fucking hate sports? I had never seen Ellie look so angry. Let's see. They got all the fake information I gave. That sounds about right. What is it? What is it? They have been taking extremely detailed notes on me for every single one of the show for the past 2 years. 2 years we are what? We are here 2 years? What I have done, things I have said in private or with others, they have got notes down here to how and when I brush my teeth. How I react differently when they change the show or tell me different things. Or we are nothing but lab rats to them. It's true, and it's my fault. What do you mean? If I hadn't invented this machine in the first place, none of this would have ever happened. You couldn't have known. You couldn't have known, Scarlett. You really wanted to help people, and that was a great thing. It's not your fault someone ended up using your invention like this. If you say so, okay. My file says that they ripped my memories and put me on the show to make sure that no one else could build this technology? I can't even begin to understand how that could even be a reason for causing all of this. I'm not sure we'd even want to understand the people who run this place. The room fell silent. I wanted to crack a joke to ease the tension, but it was impossible. Thank goodness. Wait, what? I'm surprised to hear you say that, Yui. All things considered. Sorry. I know how that must have sounded. Sorry, guys. Mine's the same as Ellie's. They have tracked, measured, and commented on so many things about us. So many times. It feels so violating. But it's not all bad. Did I ever tell you why I came on this show, Kay? No, I said. I forgot I wasn't allowed to tell you. That was one of the conditions. Huh? To be completely transparent, the reason was money and nothing but that. I wouldn't have thought that of Yui. It was hard enough to take care of myself without my parents, let alone 2 brothers and a whole farm. I remember now, it was Kat who reached out to me. She told me that if I came onto the show, my brothers and the farm would be taken care of for life. I know this is all horrifying, but I'm just glad she held up her end of the deal. Even if I might die here and never see them again. That's too depressing to think, Yui. She has a reason to backstab us. For her, it would be better if we continue the show. That is bad. We are going to get out of here and see your brother again, together. Thanks, Kay. I would like that. I am curious, Yui. What kind of archetype did they list you as? The girl next door. Damn, that sounds a lot better than gaming gremlin. Yui, Scarlett, Ellie and I laughed. At times like these, having a mood lifter like terror around was critical. I looked at Violet, who had been silent the whole time. Her reason might not be the best. She was trembling. Violet, are you... Please, God, don't let this be true. Violet fell to her knees and sobbed, with her hands against her face. I rushed to her side. Are you okay, Violet? Violet threw her folder against the floor, causing the papers inside to scatter through the room. Nothing is okay, Kay. It doesn't matter if I get off this island or not. I'm not like you. I have nothing to go back to, no one to stand by me. There's nothing for me, either way. Violet, wait! She ran to the stairs. Her sobs echoed through the staircase and through the lab. I moved to follow her, but Yui stopped me. I think she might need some time alone, Kay. But after her papers scattered around the room, maybe you should just read it. Yui handed me the paper that were in Violet's file. Violet Valentine is a special case, otherwise unremarkable, but she's the daughter of Edgar and Wayne Valentine, one of our primary investors. Oh. It is my understanding that they have recently had a son and want for him to be the next heir after Viola passed. Oh no, they wanted to get rid of her. Edgar and Wayne sent their remaining daughter, Violet, to us, full well knowing what the show would entail. They have paid us an incredible sum to make sure that she does not return from the show. Even for me, this is too cruel. It was too hard to keep reading. I closed the folder and just stared open-mouthed at Yui. There were no words. I knocked on Violet's door later that night, but it was no use. Please, just leave me alone, Kay. I'm here if you want to talk, Violet. Even if she opened the door, I would have no idea what I was supposed to say. What could anyone say? I was wrong. It's not only up from here. There's a long way down. It's hardly a surprise, but I didn't sleep well last night. Who could, after what happened? And just like that, we are on to day 3. I gotta thank you, Kay. You are making my job easy. I actually get to spend my nights doing productive things now. I am happy to help with that, however that works. You alright? You don't seem to have your usual energy. Careful, Kay. One slip up with Cat and this is all over. Deep breath. I'm good, thanks, Cat. I just didn't sleep too well. Happens to the best of us. Anyway, it goes without saying that Yui is definitely a contender for the final ceremony, Of course. A woman like Yui, anyone would be lucky to have her. Damn straight! Though she's a very different kind of woman than Scarlet, you have got a tough choice down the road. Though you have also got a tough choice to make right now. Who's the unlucky girl today? Do you not get tired of that? Like yourself? So who should I ask on a date tomorrow? Honestly, joking aside, I think you should ask Violet. Really? I don't think she is in any shape to put on a good show. I mean, we need all of us to be able to work together well, to get out of here, right? I don't think Violet would be able to until she's feeling better. And what better way to do that than for a date to make you feel special? Terra does have a great point. I always make great points. Like seeing if I could arm wrestle one of the zombies Scarlet made. That went great. I remember that. Wait, I was the zombie. That was not a good idea at all. Can I take my vote back? What do you think, Kay? I do like the idea. We could kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm sure there's something that we could do to help us escape that we could only do on a date with Violet. I've got it. Tomorrow you'll be going on a date with Violet. Here's what you're gonna do. Violet. I've always wanted to spend more time with her, and there's no time like the present. We'll make it happen. I do have one small request though. What's that? And will it give me ratings? I think it will. Then let's hear it. I have noticed Violet being a little down lately, so I wanted to cheer her up. I heard that she really likes cooking, especially in groups. Would you mind if we cooked with the staff at noon? I don't see why not. Let's hope it goes better than the last time. What last time? Oh, hi Kay. Why'd you bring me here? I am in a bit of a predicament. You see, I may have made an irresponsible bet. I did not take you for a gambler? Well, I'm not, but the thing is, I heard the cooks bragging that they were the best chefs on the island. But hey, I have tried the food you've made before. I know nobody else could come close to how good you are. So I may have challenged them all to a competition in your name. You are ridiculous, Kay. Violet laughed out loud. There's that smile I like so much. It was nice to see it again. Are you being serious? Dead serious. In a few hours, hundreds of staff are going to come here. Some of them as challenging cooks, some of them as judges, the rest of them looking for lunch. All of them hungry. Think you are up for the challenge? They will rue the day they challenged me. That's the Violet I like to see. Anyways, what is the theme of this contest? I can't tell you just yet. It'll be announced when it's cooking time. I do like a challenge. Would you care to stay with me as I prepare for the festivals? Of course, Violet. Thank you, Kay. I know why we are doing this, and I appreciate it. I'm not ready to talk about it just yet, but I feel happier already, knowing you are looking out for me. I am always here for you, Violet. And I for you as well, Kay. We spent the time before the contest just talking about pleasant things, completely unrelated to the show, completely unrelated to anything of consequence. Sometimes when bad things happen, what you need most is just a semblance of normalcy. By the time noon rolled around, hundreds of staff members were filling up the kitchen. I don't want to face you, Violet, but I will if I have to. Oh, you are challenging me? Like a snail challenging the mighty eagle. You have my respect. Eep! Is it too late to change sides? You are going down, Violet. We are the Brothers 5, the best chefs on the island. Sure, you are. What's that too? What I meant to say is, wow, you really are the best chef on the island. That's right. Damn it, bros, you can't let her intimidating you like this. If we do, she's already won. Say something, for. We will meet on the culinary battlefield, Violet. You may have my brothers running for the hills, but not me and 5. Come at me, let us brandish our forks against each other. 5, do you have anything to say? Wait, what's happening? I do hope you will entertain me, brothers. Violet raised a pen towards them. Let us begin! It's time for the cook-off to end all cook-offs. Each cook will cook their own version of a mystery dish, a dish that I will soon reveal for the first time ever. The judges will be everyone who is not a contestant. You must be joking! There's hundreds of people here. How could we ever feed everybody? That's not my problem. And I definitely didn't come up with rules for this tournament on the spot. Liar. Violet laughed once more. That was enough to keep this charade going. The mystery dish will be spaghetti and meatballs. Like taking candy from a baby. Not this again. Oh god, I think I'm gonna faint. One collapsed on the ground. One down, 4 to go. Bro! I knew we should have been accountants. Why are we fooling ourselves? You each have 1 hour. No late submissions will be accepted. Let's the game. Begin! The contestants that were still conscious rushed off to gather ingredients. How are they going to make that much food? I am sure they will figure something out. I watched each of them cook furiously at breakneck speed. Violet was hard at work, sweat streaming down her face with the biggest smile I had seen her have all day. I couldn't help but smile as well. At the same time, Thor was trying to cook his spaghetti with only a microwave. A microwave for spaghettis? I'm not sure this will be too much of a contest. 1 minute left. Violet filled hundreds of laid-out bowls with spaghetti and meatballs in a matter of moments. If you blinked, you'd miss her finish a whole row. Each looked both delicious and artistic. You would have thought a cook would have spent much longer than an hour putting each of them together. 5 settled on making about 4.5 bowls. I guess everyone has their own pace. Time's up. It's time to judge. The crowd cheered as they stamped to the laid-out bowls. They were practically salivating. After everybody wolfed down bowls from each of the contestants, they submitted their vote. The people have spoken, and with a resounding majority, our first ever winner of the Best Chef on the Island in the Middle of Nowhere award is Violet. Oh, Violet! Why would she call herself? The crowd cheered, myself included. I did it! Me, I did it! Violet jumped up and down with joy. I felt like a kid in a candy store just from one look at her. You won fair and square, you should be proud of yourself. Yeah, your food was the best I ever had. Though if you consider our living standards, that doesn't mean too much. Hey, I just had an idea. What if we get Violet to cook for the staff at lunch instead of us? Seriously, it's been years since we've had real food. What's that supposed to mean? Honestly, I think it's a great idea. I know I hide it well, but I really have no idea what I'm doing in the kitchen. No way, bro! Violet and I took one look at each other and couldn't help but laugh. I would love to, you guys. The crowd's enthusiasm reached a level of uproaring applause. Violet, Violet, Violet. Oh goodness, you are all too kind. I put my arms around her and smiled. Guess you have got a new job now, Violet. I guess I do. Violet leaned in to kiss me on the lips. For a moment, time stood still, and the only thing you could hear was the crowd's cheer getting even louder. We laughed together. I have had so much fun today, Kay. Thanks to you. Care to join me by the beach after we clean this place up? I wouldn't miss it for the world. The world would pale in comparison. Hey! She reached her hand out to mine and I held hers tight in return. Hey, Violet. You really gave them a great show today, you know? I couldn't have done that without my ever-so-charming television host. We walked along the beach, our feet bare in the inviting water of the ocean. Really, I'm so grateful to you, Kay. Last night, finding out what my parents did, that was the lowest point I'd ever been to. I held her hand even tighter. Honestly, I didn't see a way out, escaping the island or not. Everything seemed like a dead end. But today you helped me remember that even without them, I have still got me. And I like me quite a bit. You really are incredible, Violet. That was all you. With you? Violet mumbled something under her breath. Sorry, what was that? Sorry, let me try again. I know I'd be fine on my own, but I would like me better if I was with you. When we get out of here, I do hope you join me for that cruise. She kissed me again. It felt like magic. Violet, She put her finger against my lip. I know it's not quite the time for this conversation yet, but please do remember what I have said when this is all over. Do you mind if we walk for just a little longer? I don't want this to end. I would walk with you for as long as you wanted to, Violet. We can walk till the sun comes up. We can walk till the sun comes up. We can talk about anything and everything. So how about we start with planning our cruise together? That would be lovely. We walked together till the dead of night. It was nothing less than magical. I have a lot to do after we got out of here. After we came back, a huge storm hit outside. We just missed it. Hope you two enjoyed your day together. I am sorry to interrupt, but it's time we get this show on the road. Ellie took out the master key from her pocket, spun it around the ring with her finger, then put it in the locker door, into the locked door. And we are in. She turned the lock, then pulled the door open. Whoa, the door's a little heavier than I thought it would be. Must be soundproof or something. Whatever, let's go. But before we go inside, I will make a break because I already playing like 3.5 hours and we have like 2 in the morning and 30 minutes. So I'm done. I need rest right now. My voice needs rest too, so we will see us the next time. Bye.